Today, before you take the Chapter 7 Lesson 1 quiz on a new settlement in Virginia, let's do a little reviewing. The settlers that came to Virginia were not prepared for what they found in Jamestown. These settlers were soldiers, adventurers, and others who wanted to get rich. They were not used to hard working. Let's review the vocabulary for this chapter. Take a minute, read through the definitions, now let's look at the words: cash crop, slavery, representative, plantation, rebel, council, indenture. An elected member of a lawmaking body. People who are bought and sold as objects and forced to work without pay. Agreement. A person who uses force to oppose a government or other authority. A group of people called together to give advice. A product grown for sale and not for a farmer's own use. A large farm where one crop is grown. Everyone take a minute, double check. Do you feel these are correct? Nice job. Let's continue with the essential ideas from this lesson.
Because this was the first permanent English settlement in America, these newcomers would soon find out that surviving in the New World would prove surprisingly difficult. Almost immediately upon landing, the colonists were under attack by the Algonquin natives, which caused great hardship. So, one of the first priorities was to build a fort. Archaeologists have recently discovered evidence of the location of the walls of the fort, as you can see. Now, it is recorded that over a month's time or so, the newcomers were able to, quote, bear and plant palisades. These wooden palisaded walls formed a triangle around a storehouse, some homes, and a church. The Jamestown settlers chose this site for a few reasons. One major reason was the location. It was on the end of a peninsula surrounding the colonists with water on three sides, making it easy to defend. Sometimes the peninsula would even flood, making it an actual island. Another reason, the location provided a port, which would be valuable and essential to the settlement's success. Though these were all important factors and helpful in deciding the location of the settlement, the real reason they chose Jamestown was the fact that, well, there were no Indians living there. In fact, they were so relieved that there were no Indians living there that they overlooked the $64,000 question: why weren't there any Indians living there? Well, for starters, it was basically a swamp with brackish water. Typhoid fever and dysentery were rampant among the settlers, and not to mention the fact that it was Indian hunting ground.
Using the ideas from the video and what we learned from reading this lesson, let's see which items fit under advantages and disadvantages. Let's take these items and see where they belong. Salty drinking water. Please raise your hand if you feel it's advantage or disadvantage. Very nice. River providing an escape route in case of Indian attack. Advantage, disadvantage. Very nice job. Swampy farmland. Advantage, disadvantage. Very good. Upriver location to protect from ocean attacks. Advantage, disadvantage. Nice job, guys. River allows goods to be shipped into the and out of the colony. Advantage, disadvantage. Mosquitoes carry diseases. Advantage, disadvantage. Drafty homes. Advantage, disadvantage. Very nice job. As we know, there were difficulties in the Jamestown community. As time went on, there were new ideas that saved that community, such as the House of Burgesses, which was the lawmaking body, and indentured servants. Let's remember what indentured servants means. An indentured servant was someone who came from England that signed an indenture or an agreement. They were promised free passage to Jamestown, where they had to work for 3 to 5 years. After their service, they received their freedom, 100 acres of land, food, clothing, and sometimes a gun. This ends our review for Lesson 1, the Virginia Settlement of Jamestown.